time for Inspirational Talks with Laura Simmons and Friends.
Welcome, everyone, to Inspirational Talks with Laura Simmons. I am Laura Simmons. I have with me today Margaret Green, the real estate queen,
Hello.
Ursula D. Allen, the hot topic princess, and
Hi,
Shanita
everybody.
J., the celebrity gossip queen. And,
Hello.
and our guest today is James Gordon, an actor out of Chicago. So, ladies, how is everyone doing today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Good.
Excellent,
Good.
excellent.
Okay.
How are you, Laura?
How you doing?
Well, I'm okay. I had a doctor's appointment today, and I'm okay. I'm okay. A little disappointed in part of my doctor's appointment, but other than that, I'm good. Good.
Good. Good.
I have no complaints. I thank God to be alive today, to see another day, um,
Right.
Amen.
and I thank God that we all together again today, guys.
Yeah.
Hey.
Good internet.
Yes, yes, yes. So, y'all, just wanted to remind folks that we are on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays is Let's Talk About It Tuesdays, and Thursdays is our day where we have interviews. We interview
Special guest.
special guests. Yes. So we're gonna start out with our real estate queen. Asked her if give us a little nugget for today, just something simple.
All I can say today is get if you're gonna be either refinancing or buying or purchasing anytime soon, you want to do it as soon as possible and try to finalize it before March because I heard on the news today that the interest rates will be going up in March.
Oh
Oh,
no.
really?
So
Oh,
yes, and they said so it's going to affect everybody from those who buying a car to those who buying a house, from credit cards to adjustable rate mortgages, all that. So if you're looking
Wow.
at buying a house, you want to get that contract ratified and get that financing started and rolling so you can close, or if you just at least get locked in on your rate.
Okay. Sounds like a
And that's my
plan.
gold nugget for the day.
All right.
Good
So,
info.
who we got? Shanita J. Come on, give us some celebrity gossip, baby girl.
well, there's a few things going on right now. I want to start out with Cardi B winning her defamation of character case against Tasha K.
Mhm.
Um, it, it was something that was very tragic because she said a lot of things that she shouldn't have said about her family and her children, and she
Mm-hmm.
tried to handle it under the radar, but she wasn't gonna stop till she kept going. So she got to pay $3.8 million.
Well,
Tag, I wonder can she afford that because they said that she said some very distasteful stuff about Cardi B.
Oh yeah, about her children, her husband. I mean, at
Her
the time,
health.
it just
They
yeah.
even mentioned she even mentioned her health.
oh
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
wow.
Yes, I wonder if she got that kind of money.
I
That's
don't
what
know.
I
If
was
she's got
Too.
that
wondering.
kind of
Yeah,
cheddar,
because
she should
she's
be
a
done cutting them
YouTuber,
up.
right?
She's a YouTuber. Yeah.
Yeah.
We won't give her no shine of what her YouTube handle is. However, yes, that she's just a YouTuber at this point. I mean, she
Okay.
trying to take off, but in other news, not celebrity related, however, three teen brothers were allegedly arrested for beating their stepfather to death
Wow.
because he molested their younger sister. They beat him to death,
Wow.
left him in the field to die, and he died. But I personally feel freedom. Let those brothers go, because that
Wow.
pain that little girl got to deal with for the rest of her life. Even though they beat him to death, I mean, I'm pretty sure she feels safer now because she know he'll never come back and do nothing to her.
Exactly. Yeah.
Unfortunately, the burden of proof is gonna be on their attorneys though to prove that he was doing that to the to their
How old was she?
stepdaughter.
That
Mhm.
I don't know how old she was. Where my sources didn't have that. However, the young men were 18. and he was 42. The stepfather was 42.
Wow.
Oh, he was kind of young.
Because if they have to, because you know how they do those rape tests and all that other stuff, so they're going to want to see if there was any indication that she had been sexually abused in that manner. And
But
maybe
you know,
they're going to want to know if she was, whether or not she was sexually active beforehand. That's why I asked how old she was.
Yeah, but you know what sucks though is just like, you know, it's that your word against mine. That's why a lot of women don't come forward in situations like that. Be it it's somebody in their family, be it it's somebody else street, or if they're in college and something like that happened, they keep it to themselves. They suffer in silence, and sometimes they never recover. So allegedly, if they did what they did, oh well, he did.
I knew a lady, and I'll make this very brief. I knew a lady when I was in counseling a long time ago. She had been molested when she was a child. She didn't talk about it for like 20 something years. And one day she woke up, she couldn't talk, she couldn't move. And she went to, they immediately took her to the hospital. All the physical tests came back good. And they was like, basically after months of her being in the hospital, not being able to do anything, they were like, it must be mental. So they put her in a institution. And one day when she was in therapy, she just started screaming. She started screaming, and she started to tell everybody what happened to her.
That's why they said you don't hold stuff, because it doesn't. When you hold it against that person, it's not hurting them; it's hurting you.
Right.
So let it out. Free yourself.
Yeah. So that's all I got for you guys today.
Ursula, you have anything?
Well, since I get a moment, I just want to say, y'all, make sure y'all check out the Janet Jackson documentary. I'm really excited to see it. She was on The View today, and she is just such a sweetie. But yeah, I'm excited. I think I don't even know what it's on Lifetime, so y'all check it out.
Yeah, I did see the advertisement for that.
Yeah, I saw some of the comments she said on. I saw it on YouTube. I mean, not YouTube. It was on YouTube. She was saying how some of the harsh things that Michael used to say to her because of her weight. And I was like, wow. She said, used to call her pig, cow, horse. He used to call her, and she said she used to laugh it off, but it really hurt it deep down inside.
Well, I know he used to call her Dunk all the time when they were kids and stuff. That is my family, one of my families. So
yeah, she
so of course, so of course I used to hear him call her Dunk and stuff, back in the day when we were growing up and stuff. And I used to tell Mike it wasn't cool to say that to her, but you know how that goes.
LaToya.
Control.
LaToya.
Never gonna stop. Yeah, but anyways, guys, so I'm gonna be in front of the TV on Friday because I heard the first one starts on Friday, and then it's supposed to be a part 2 to it. So I'm curious to know, is she gonna say anything about the
alleged baby
situation? Huh?
The alleged baby.
Oh no, she's not gonna talk about
her daughter.
They already said that, but no, and that's not what I was curious about. Because I remember back when she was younger and she was in the Fame days when she was doing Fame, I do remember they would only show this part of her body, the upper part of her body. They would never show below. Yeah, and I used to always like to watch, watch Fame. I was a very big Fame fan too, and I used to, when she did that song, Dream Street. And they showed her then. She was doing that. She was dancing then. But then after that marriage stuff with that DeBarge boy, then you started seeing her.
James DeBarge.
Yeah, that James boy. That DeBarge.
Yes, and you still insisted on calling him that DeBarge boy.
His name is James DeBarge.
Thank you.
Okay, that's DeBarge boy. But anyways, yes, so when I seen also, this was what I was gonna say is that that wasn't what I was gonna ask about though. I wonder, is she gonna respond back to what Bobby Brown said about her having
Yeah.
her and him having them.
Probably not.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Probably not. Especially if it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not.
She gonna bury that.
She gonna take it with her.
Exactly. I
Like she
would.
was
Look
gonna
at Bobby
do her
Brown. I love
marriage.
Bobby.
Yeah.
I
Like
mean,
she,
Bobby Brown
like
back
she was gonna
then.
do her
And me and
marriage.
Bobby Brown had the same birthday.
Who?
Me and Bobby Brown.
Her.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
That's right.
cute.
Bobby
Aquarius
Brown
in the
is the
house.
man.
That's why he's
I know
crazy
Aquarius
too.
is a little.
Yeah.
Like your son.
Bobby Brown is the man.
That's right.
He is.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Well,
Mr. Telephone
I want
Man.
to play this one video right quick. I'm gonna play this video, and then we're gonna bring our guest out. Let's get this video on first.
Y'all taking me back to the New Edition days. You can't be doing
Don't forget
that.
to subscribe to Inspirational Talks with Laura Simmons and Friends. Today's guest is James Gordon. Our sponsor is the Mother-Daughter Team, LLC.
Just wanna see mama straight. I just wanna see mama straight. I just wanna see mama.
All right, y'all. All right. One more thing. One more thing. I need to put his picture up there. All right, guys. No longer ado. Let's bring out Mr. James Gordon. Hello, Mr. Gordon.
Yay!
Ooh. How are you today?
You know, I want to say to everybody listening, everybody tuning in, everybody that will watch this at some future point, catch your breath. If your heart just skipped a beat, go back and grab it so you can get your regular heartbeat right again. Clean out your ears because what you're hearing is not a myth. It may be a bit of a fantasy, but it's not a myth. Woo! We're alive with Laura Simmons and Friends. Oh my God. We got Blue Lewis, right? We got Shanita J. We got the real estate queen. We got Laura Simmons, the author herself. And you've got me, Mr. Kent Taylor from Chicago Med. You got me, the 32-time Moss Storytelling Champion. You have got me, the 3-time Grand Slam champion. You got me, the 5-time international award-winning author. You have got the franchise. Ladies and gentlemen, here I am. How you doing? Let's go. Let's go.
Buckle up for that one. That was a rough ride.
Let's go.
Here you go. Here you go. How you doing?
How y'all doing this evening? Y'all look great.
How are you?
Pretty good.
Listen,
Can,
I got off work.
mhm.
I freshened up, switched into my other Brooks Brothers shirt because, you know, I'm coming to see these wonderful ladies and spend time with them. The audience, they got to have something good to look at. And, hey, you know what I'm talking about. I would show you these, but I don't have a conceal and carry for them, so I got to put them down.
The gun show.
Yes, the Lord. Sweet, dark-skinned Jesus. Yes. Let's go.
So,
That's
can
right.
you
Ain't nothing wrong
introduce
with that.
yourself? Can you introduce yourself to our audience? Tell them who you are so they know.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is James Gordon. I'm from the south side of Chicago, the best side of Chicago, representing everybody dark skin. I'm a member and leader of the cabal known as Act Back Dark. It's a collection of various creatives, directors, producers, authors, writers, actors, poets, storytellers, comedians. We run the entire gamut. You probably turned on your TV and watched Chicago Med, and you've seen me on there as Vanessa's father, Kent Taylor. You probably looked on Amazon and saw me on the G as Detective Smiley, on Southside, various other shows. You probably saw a few commercials and didn't know it was me. It was me. Yeah, I'm an award-winning poet, a champion storyteller, and I'm representing I want to shout out to my daughter, Morgan Denise Livingston, aka Sweets, who's up in heaven looking down on us. Shout out to you, Sweets. Love you. And yeah, that's me. Here I am.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Congratulations on all of it.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That
Yeah.
is.
That is
That
a lot. And the guy is good because I remember when I was doing my stage play, I remember he was one of my characters in my stage play.
Yeah.
And he came in there, he schooled a few of my actors and stuff, and he really did a really good job.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I can't wait to get my movie going because I'm surely you are already on the list to be one of my actors for that.
That's
show.
all good. That's what's up.
So,
Thank you. That darn COVID, boy. That darn COVID derailed a few things here and there. But I like to think. I like to think like this. I like to spin it before we. A lot of people. If you look on your timeline, a lot of people are quick to embrace the gloom and doom of things. But the Lord is always working. So these things that we think are derailed or inhibitors, they're just giving us pause. He's giving us pause to rethink, to regroup, replan. So when we come up out of it, when it's our time, we're better prepared to complete the thing we've been set out to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's true.
So your film is going to be even better than it was going to be before COVID came. You had more time to regroup and get the right actors in and put the right this, that, and the other and get the scenarios together, all that. That's why I like to think that. I always like to see the glass 3/4 full.
Yeah, that is so true. Yep.
Very true. Everything happens for a reason.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
And that was a really fabulous introduction, but I see you left off one title I saw in my research, PGA.
It's GPA.
GPA.
Greatest poet alive.
Yeah, where did you get that from?
Well, I tell you, it about a decade ago, somewhere like 2000, I wrote my first book called The Confessional Heart of a Man. And I was writing on there, Greatest Poet Alive. I was writing my name, James Gordon, aka Greatest Poet Alive, and sent it off to the publisher. When they sent back the print, the first copy, and it just had Greatest Poet Alive on there. And I told my brother, my best friend, shouts out to him. I said, bro, man, they left my name off. They messed up. He said, no, they didn't. Leave that just like that. Go with it just like that. But he said, hey, but listen, when you do this, the heat, because there's always two sides of the light. There's the light that we want to stand in and it shines on us, it feel good, and we go, ah. And then there's the other side. This can get a little shady. You know what I mean? So he said, you got to be able to take them both. And it's worked out that I've been able to take them both. Thank God. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's one of them.
That's right.
Oh, wow.
That's
Okay.
right. Wow.
That's cool.
There's a lot.
So, I got to ask this question.
Sure.
Did you like acting since have you been, wanting to act since you was a child?
No.
Or is this something new?
I got to tell you the truth. That's a great question. I got to tell you the truth. I always wanted to be either. Wait. I wanted to be a teacher, or I wanted to be Batman. One of the two. I wanted to stand up there in my cape.
So you got beaten many times for that cape.
So, since Batman was already taken, I decided to become a teacher. And that's what I did for a number of years. Until, I ran into a friend who did poetry. And he says, hey, man, you want to be in a movie? I was like, dude, come on, man. I'm not an actor. I'm a teacher. He said, no, bro, I've seen you do poetry and what have you. You'd be great for this part. And it was the part of an FBI interrogator. So I thought, okay, cool. I read the script. I knew nothing about analyzing the script and none of the stuff that I know now. And so I memorized the lines and what have you. And we went through and did a movie. I was like, yay, I got it off the bucket list. I did a movie. Okay. 2 weeks later, another buddy who is an acclaimed actor now, he said, hey, bro, this is my movie. His film is called Animals, the movie. And it was about him being addicted to heroin and subsequently conquering that addiction. And he said, bro, I want you to be in this movie, man. It's about my life. He said, you have to play an angry boyfriend. And I was like, oh yeah, I've been that guy before. Sure, no problem. That should be easy.
You've been one of those in the bushes.
So I did that. And the next thing you know, I did that movie. I'm thinking, okay, that's cool. I look up, it's going to film festivals and winning stuff. And I go to the premiere and I see him. I say, hey, Dave, man, I wouldn't be mad if my footage got on the cutting room floor, because that happens. He says, what? He says, no. He said, yours was one of the best scenes in the film.
Oh wow.
And when we had to improv it. The young lady and I who did the scene, there was no script for it. We improv the scene, and they kept it. And people were like, man, you ever thought about acting? And I started to think, well, maybe, so yeah, maybe. Let's see what we can do. And I started doing some background work, which people know is extra work. I started doing some indie films and such. And next thing you know, I wound up on Steve Harvey. The episode with Megan Good and now her ex-husband, Devon Franklin. I was on that episode about the celibacy. And right after that, I got an agent, and then here we are, Now we're on TV, like all the time.
That's
and that's pretty cool.
awesome.
That's
Yeah.
great.
That's pretty cool.
Awesome.
That's
Yeah.
what you call God's timing.
With God, all things are possible.
Yeah.
Without
Yeah.
him, nothing is possible. We
Yeah,
got
That's
nothing.
right. That's
Nothing.
right.
And I've learned that more than,
right time.
let me say something real quick to everybody out there doing this this thing we got going on. And even before that, some of y'all are dealing with loss. And I can definitely tell you about that. Some of y'all are dealing with sickness. Some of y'all are dealing with this, that, and other. Hang in here. Hang in here. I know it ain't easy. I know it gets tough some days. You need to cry. You need to scream. You need to yell. Get that out. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You need to go to the gym. You need to walk around the block. Get it out. But remember, as long as you are in the game, you got a shot. It's going to be all right.
Amen.
It's
That's
going to be
right.
all right.
Say that again.
Because
That's
God didn't
right.
put us here for us to suffer and do bad. Some of this is self-inflicted on ourselves.
That's true.
We got to
Oh,
have
yeah.
faith. You got to have faith. Especially when it seems like it's the worst. That's when your faith has to be the strongest, because the reward is right on the other side of it.
Yeah. On the other
Right on the
side.
other side. And the last thing I'm gonna say on that, we can get back to the thing. Some of y'all out there will notice what I'm talking about. You've had the direct deposit hadn't come yet. You need to pay a bill. You got $1 worth of dust in your pocket. And you trying to figure it all out, and somehow or another it works out. Well, there's no somehow or another. God reached his hand down and was working that out all along.
Absolutely.
He just wanted you to have faith. So just hang in there, all right? All right, that's my thing.
All right.
That's my thing.
Very inspirational.
You know,
I
I felt
only
like you
know
was
because I've been there. I only know because I only know,
I felt like you was talking to me there for a minute there.
whoever needs to feel it. Because, we all go through nobody, like I said,
Nobody's exempt.
nobody has not felt the pain of loss. Nobody has not felt
Right.
whereas they're struggling, or they're getting up and going to the job, and it's the car don't want to act right, or the co-workers, or the supervisor, or whatever.
Been there.
So we all going through it, but we got to hold on. We got to be faithful.
Amen. That's right.
We have to be.
Yeah, that's true.
That's very true. I
Very
had a
true.
question for you.
Sure.
What was your inspiration? I know you are this great acclaimed actor,
Thank you.
but I saw that you wrote some books as well. So the book that I found
Oh no.
that I thought was pretty interesting. What was your inspiration to write Bobo and Scooter?
Oh. Okay.
Highlighting the
He
pivotal.
said, "Whoo."
I had to remember it's an inspirational show. I was hoping she didn't mention nothing else. I was like, wait a minute. I was just talking about
Oh,
having faith, and she
Lord.
was going somewhere else. Like, no. Like Kevin Hart was saying, no.
Like, stop.
No.
Don't do me like that, sis. Bobo is actually me. That is my name my grandma gave me decades ago when I run around our house and knock over stuff. And she just yelled out, Bobo, one day, stop. And I didn't know who the heck Bobo was, but I know grandmama said stop. So I stopped and it stuck. And Scooter is, he was just sitting right here. Scooter is the beagle. And so when I wrote, a buddy of mine had said, hey, you're writing all these other books and what have you. I challenge you to write a children's book. And so I wrote 2, and I'm working on the 3rd one now. And this was my African-American answer to Charlie Brown. I've always loved Charlie Brown, but we didn't have that.
Right.
And so a lot of the stuff I wrote in the book is when I grew up. I grew up on the South Side, all the different things, my different adventures, my fascination with comic books and things of that nature, growing up with my family. I grew up with a very fortunate to grow up in a loving family. And so it's really wholesome literature that we need that. Because we got a lot of other stuff that we get filtered into our minds and what have you. It comes across our hands and our eyes. But I wanted to write that for our youth, give them something to laugh and joke about, and and let their imaginations go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I did see, it was highlighting, the pivotal moment of, a young man going from going into teenagehood. So
Yes.
I have a teenager, so I can definitely attest to the different things that happen, I guess. But I'm not a man or.
And you know what's funny about that is when we were coming up, there was no. I mean, heck, we hold the cell phone. There was none of that. You were fortunate to have that house phone. There was no internet. There was no Twitter. There was none of these things. I mean, heck, the strongest word you heard on television was hell. Now you hear the whole gamut. I mean, it was a different time, So parents now, they even have to be more diligent. You have to be even more protective and watch what they're getting into theirs. And that's why I wrote Bobo too. And also that carried over into my films as well. I try to make them as family friendly as possible because you can carry a plot. You can tell a story without a lot of expletives. You can tell a story without a lot of violence. You can tell a story without a lot of sex, whether implied or actual. You can tell a story and entertain people and keep them glued to their seats without those elements. And that's what we are striving to do.
Okay.
I have a question.
Sure.
How does it feel to be an international award-winning author?
I gotta tell you, it feels darn good. It feels darn good, especially one of the books I won for was a novel. Mm-hmm. And I tell you, I've never given birth, but that's what I imagine it felt like, cause sheesh, when that thing was done, oh my God. And I've got another one, the sequel sitting. I just haven't went back to it, but yeah, in answer to your question, man, it feels everything that, and I can say this too, and anybody who may be feeling this, pay close attention. I remember, and I tell my brother this all the time, I remember thinking I wasn't any good. I remember feeling like I wasn't handsome. Everything the antithesis of what I think now, I remember feeling that. I remember thinking, oh man, I'm just gonna go to this job. And I never thought I would, heck, being on TV, it blows my mind. Every time my face goes, it just, wow, that's me. I'm like, oh my God, are you serious? But yeah, it's and my dad always wanted me to write books. So, and it's pretty cool, but yeah.
Okay.
That's amazing. It's amazing. All of it is amazing.
Okay, I have a question.
Sure.
Did you take any training or acting classes or anything?
Not initially, no. In the interim, I've taken a couple of things, but not as extensive as some of my contemporaries, some of the people I work with. They'll tell you in a minute. And this is always funny to me. They used to always say they went to Second City. Nothing against these places, but they would tell you at length how long they went there, the money they spent, and what happened. And they tell you, oh, I still haven't booked anything. I'm sorry, that was bad. That was bad. Wait. Strike that. That's bad. And I know anybody who knows me knows something like that was coming at some point, because a lot of people, man, I'm telling you, y'all know they'll rub it in your face what you didn't do or what you didn't have.
Right.
And then when you come on the other side of it, they're turning on TV, seeing me too. You know what I mean? So, And that's just to show you guys, I'm not a perfect dude at all. I can be a little smart aleck, a bit smart aleck, kind of greasy. I'm very confident. And so I remember what it was like to be dumped on. I remember what it was like when people told me I was crazy or I was too old to be acting and stuff like that. What was I doing? And now they're like, hey, congratulations. Hey, I just saw you. It is, that whole thing. So it works out,
And the girls coming after you now and everything, probably, right? So how old was you when you got started?
Oh, why you gonna ask that? Why you gonna put the business out there like that? So
Dang.
okay, so I just made 48 in December. So I started I got my first agent in 2017. I did background a couple years before that, and my first TV gig I booked was in 2018. So I guess what's that? 44, 45, or somewhere in there.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
Okay, John Alexander said, I get that a lot. It says I get that a lot before they come to my screenwriting class telling me they spend thousands of dollars and haven't wrote nothing.
That's it. I mean, and they're quick to tell you that they spent that. They're quick to tell you where they went and what they did and what have you while you're going out and getting it. I mean, hey, you know what? What's the saying? I love this. The Lord qualifies the unqualified. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Where I mean, you'd never known. Like, if this is 2022, you go 10 years back, 5 years back maybe, but definitely 10. I would never, any of this has happened to me right now that's going on in my life, never would have thought it. Never, you'd have told me that, man, get out of here with that. You quit playing with me. But Lord knows better than me. And a lot of y'all hear me say, y'all hear me keep referencing God a lot. You hear me reference the Lord a lot because in my house, we're people of faith. Now, I say that to say, not perfect. I want you to understand that. Not perfect. You might go on my Facebook status and I ain't talked about somebody. I just want you to know.
We all have our flaws.
So, like, I don't like the Green Bay Packers or their fans because I'm a Bears fan. So you'll see me all week. I've been talking about them. I don't want y'all to go to my page or become my friends. I'm like, man, James was talking about them Packer fans. Yes, I was. I'm a Bears fan, and they lost. I just want that clear right now.
He's like, don't look at that.
Like, no, don't do
it. Okay. What I was gonna say. So when did you actually? Oh, you know already. I think we asked that question. Who would you want to act with? Who would you like to be in a movie with? What actor? That's
a couple people. One, the GOAT, Denzel, would love to.
Oh yeah.
Like just
call me when you do that. Call me when you do that.
Just to soak up the knowledge and the skills and everything, and just to be around the aura. Like one of the things about having done background and being a stand-in and acting, you've been around people, so the whole star thing doesn't really faze you. But there are certain individuals who you think about or who you've met. Like I've met like most of the cast of The Wire, and every one of them I met, I was like, because I love The Wire. So yeah, that would be one. My favorite comedian, Kevin Hart. I would love to be in a film with him. Okay. If somehow or another I could work with Angela Bassett, that'd be dope. There are a host of people, a lot of Black actors and actresses who I love to just, work with. That'd be really cool. That'd be really cool. And I've been fortunate to work with a bunch now. But the GOAT, definitely the GOAT. Definitely the GOAT.
So if you got offered a major movie deal,
okay. So
would you stay in Chicago or would you leave Chicago?
When you say, so it has to film because, I've gone other places to film besides here. Mm-hmm. So I just go film there and then come back, or do I have to move?
You may have to move.
Oh. I'm taking my family. We out of here. I love my city. Now, please understand, I love Chicago. I bleed blue and orange from the Bears. I love my White Sox, the Chicago Sky, the Bulls. I love everything. Giordano's Pizza, the South Side, everybody, all the black folks in it. I love Chicago. But please understand, if my destiny says, hey, this movie is going to film for 8 months, and you got to go to San Diego. We're putting you in this house and this, that, and other, blah, 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 blah. And then we're going to start filming the sequel not too long after that, or there's a TV show, but you got to be here. Me, all these people that are in this house with me right now, hey, y'all, we out.
I know that.
I got it. We out.
I know that's right.
So would you keep your home here in Chicago, though? Would you keep a home here?
Oh, yeah, definitely that, because it's ours. But, yeah, but we out.
I'll see y'all next time.
Hey, listen, time for someone with some of these people here. We've been around here a long time in this cold. And like I said, I love the city. I don't necessarily love the cold. They talking about San Diego, where it's pleasant at? Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, because you never know when that big break may come, because I was looking at, what's her name? Tabitha Brown. Tabitha Brown. I remember my sister was telling me about this Tabitha Brown. So I'm like, okay, who is Tabitha Brown? So she said, just Google her, you will see. And so I Googled her, and it was so interesting to read her story and where she started from, and how Wendy Williams gave her that push that she needed, actually, and didn't realize that she was doing that. But it's just so funny just watching her. And now I see her now, and I seen her in a movie recently, a Christmas movie just recently. And I was like, oh my goodness, this woman is just blowing up. And I sent my sister a text. I was like, yeah, I see Tabitha Brown is on in this Christmas movie. I said, she just doing the thing, the doggone thing. So you never know. It might somebody may pick you up. And it may make something major, but don't forget about me now.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Yeah,
I always wanted to act.
When they told me that the role on Mad would be recurring, that was the break. That was the opening, because a lot of people, I won't say a lot of people, but in relation to, actors and actresses, there are a number of people who get on the show or get a few lines on the show, and then they keep moving. To be asked back, to be written back in, and it's not done. My storyline is actually just beginning. And I got to state the obvious for a black man on these shows, on the Chicago shows, when there's not a bunch of us just walking around, unless we're perps or whatever the case may be. That's pretty darn good. So I figure, hey, and for people to be able to call my character name out by name and all that type of stuff, we're cooking. It's and some of the things I've been able to do, we're cooking, and it's just building. It's just building, and I'm rolling right along with it. You remember some of y'all have seen me. Some of y'all probably look back now and see it in the commercial like, oh my God, that was him. Yeah, you've been doing it. I'm out, as my brother said, you're doing it. So we getting it. We're getting it.
What is?
I love your confidence.
Gotta have it. Gotta have it. Thank you. You gotta have it. Yeah, you just have to, because there's no winning. There's no one who's done anything great or anything substantial in history has done it without believing in themselves. The audience outside will turn with the wind. The wind could go left, and then as soon as it goes right, everybody that was rooting for you when it was left will root against you when it's right. And that's all right, as long as you keep rooting for yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? As long as you keep telling yourself. The self-talk is everything. Some of y'all with this, there's a phrase, y'all didn't ask me this, but there's a phrase that I think is just loathsome. And that is when people say, I'm dead. And they think something is so funny. They said, I'm dead. And they don't know how powerful words are.
That's right.
And so when you start speaking something, the Lord in the universe is listening like, oh, that's what you're asking for? And then you don't, just like when you say you can't do something. When you say you can't do something, you say it long enough, everything in you is going to believe you can't do it.
It's going to manifest.
Well, I believe I can do everything. So I just keep saying that. My self-talk is something else. Oh, my Lord. It's just something else.
What is her name? Jahazara Bradley said people are fickle.
Yeah, they are. That's
They are.
true. Because they blow with the wind.
Yeah, they do. Hey, Jazara Bradley, it's your fine self. How you doing?
Florida, so what is your biggest inspiration?
Now, since June 7th, 2020, it is my daughter. It is my daughter, Sweets, who passed away on that date. And the inspiration is simply, she was born without a valve for her heart. And so she had to have various operations throughout her life. She had a shunt. And so as she grew, the shunt became ineffective. So she had to have it replaced each time. And this particular time, and bear with me, if I get a little emotional, bear with me, y'all.
Take your time.
Sweets went into the procedure. I've never seen anybody so courageous. We're in the Zoom meeting with the specialist. And she asked him, she said, hey, listen, if I die, will I be hurting? Will I feel anything? Or will I be comfortable? And he let her know, no, you'd be fine. You'd be comfortable. She said, okay. And I asked her, I texted her right after. I said, hey, Sweets, why did you ask that? She says, Dad, you taught me this. You got to ask the hard questions. And it's my life. And so she went into this procedure that she made it seem like it was something simple. Come to find out it wasn't. It was very high risk because her heart and its function had deteriorated so. But in this time, I just want to, and I'm not going to roast y'all. I'm not going to give you, I want to give you the inspirational part of this. This young woman, this amazing young woman, excuse me.
Take your time.
I'm with y'all. I'm getting it, y'all. Thank you for being patient with me. Her mother had suffered a stroke a few months before that, and Sweet helped nurse her back to health. Now, this young woman couldn't walk a block without really breathing hard, but she had enough in her to nurse her mother back from a stroke. She had enough for her to she still went to animal shelters and gave her time. You know what I mean? And so I say to myself, as hurtful as it was, I realized that the Lord didn't take my daughter from me. The Lord took the pain away from my daughter. No more doctor visits, no more operations, no more any of that. No more fatigue, no more any of that. And she's in a much, much better place.
That's right.
And so with that, I take that and I say, that's the win for my wings. You know what I mean? That's the push that I get up with every day and I go to bed with every night. That's why I'm relentless. That's why I may not get a part and I may not because I don't like not getting parts, but I realize there's another part, bigger part, more better paying part waiting for me. There's another day as I'm able to get up every day and breathe life. I'm like, okay, thank you, Lord. Every day I wake up, thank you, Lord. I say, okay, Sweets, I'm going to get them. I go to the gym relentlessly. Sweets, I'm punching in, because that's my guardian angel now. That's what I believe. So that is that. In long story short, I'm long-winded, y'all. I'm loquacious, so I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you. But that's my inspiration.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That's pretty awesome.
I have a question. Growing up on the south side of Chicago, considering all the stuff that happens often in the news about the south side of Chicago, how is that a motivation or an inspiration to you to keep winning?
Oh, that's a great question. They first of all, they talk about our city so bad. They talk about our side of town so bad. And a lot of a lot of it is myth. A lot of it is tied to money and real estate and trying to get the property values lowered so they can move us out, Black people and people of color out, because they're two separate things. And get us out of here. And so they can gentrify it. A lot of that is tied to that. And so it's necessary for someone like me and others like me to win and continue to succeed, because one, it represents this Blackness this Black excellence, this Black greatness, this Black genius that we've all got. And this might be a bit controversial, but I'm gonna say it because that's who I am. Do you know, for Black people, do you know how amazing we are that we're up against it every moment of every day from all sides, and yet and still we got people writing books, we got people publishing books, we got people on TV, we got people making TV, we got people doing comedy shows, we got people making millions, opening stores, opening business, and we got every single side around us covered. And here we are just doing our thing, getting up and doing our thing. Could you imagine if we started not even,
right,
but not 400 years down, maybe 100 years down?
Yes.
Could you imagine where we would be at? But and I'm sorry, I get caught up in the Blackness because I'm entrenched in that. But it's important because there's some boy when I was started out as an author, and I would go to schools and I would talk about bullying. Because I had experienced that, and I talk about, anti-bullying and things of that nature. A young man said to me, he says, "Man, could I grow up and write a book like you?" I said, "You sure can. You can do whatever you want to do. Get your education, stay faithful, do whatever you want to do." When I played Santa Claus, I was one of the few first Black men to play Santa Claus. And the little boy said, "You're Black like me." And I said, "Yes, I am. Yes, I am." And so the representation matters. It's just not a fancy slogan. The representation matters. When we see people, when they look up on the screen and they see, and for me, I'm dark. As you probably figured out, I'm dark. So to look on TV and see, I'm not some crook. I'm not anything bad. I'm somebody's father on a TV show. Like, hey, oh, I can do that. Wow, he looks like me. He's dark like me. He's Black like me, and all of it's relative. So it's definitely important to keep winning, and keep shining, and keep showing out. It's definitely important. Representation matters.
Freelancer Shaman said, "Great show as always."
Hey, thanks for tuning in.
I want to ask a question. So what you just said was absolutely correct. I always talk to my children about being able to break a cycle of poverty that came down through the generations of our family, and being able to have children born into our family that know that they can do anything they want,
Right.
And they don't have to just, be like so distressed about it or whatever. But I wanted to ask you, what advice would you give to, people who are trying to get into the acting industry or even, just to become an author? What advice do you have?
First of all, and this has been said, but this is a number of things. I'm gonna hit them as quick as possible. First of all, you're gonna hear, you can't, you shouldn't, you won't. If you hear that, you're already headed in the right direction.
Wow.
If you hear that you can't, and that's not to say it's gonna be from everybody, because I'm very fortunate. My support base has been in every endeavor I've been able to do. These people here have been right here with me. But when you hear stuff like that, that shows you're doing something that's trailblazing, that maybe somebody hasn't done, or some people don't know they've done it. Go ahead. That's the first thing. Number two, research what it is you're getting into. Take a look around. See. Hey, is it? If it's acting, hey, can I create my own sitcom? Can I create my own film? Like author Laura, can I create my own play? Can I do that? What are the skill sets I need? What's the way I can do it? Research. And third and most important, faith. Faith in God, and just as important, faith in yourself. Because you have to believe when everybody else is saying no, nay, don't, you have to believe I can do this.
Yeah.
You have to believe, and it has to be unwavering.
Yeah.
Because everybody who's ever done anything acting wise or anything creative wise, and they've got a story. They got a story about how they maybe slept in the car, or they had $7 in their pocket, or this, that, and the other. They have a story. And when that time comes, or those times come, can you weather the storm to get to the sunshine?
Right.
And you have to be able to. So that's what I would say.
The
That's
sun is always
powerful.
shining.
That is very powerful.
Okay, I had a question. According to you, what is the best part of your work?
What is the best part of my work? Darn, that's pretty good. Just being in it, just this entire thing. So, for instance, a few minutes from now, an email may come and say, "Hey, you got to audition. You got to turn it in. It's for this role. Blah 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 blah. You got to have it by this day." I'm in it. I mean, this is the best part. I can pull my name up, and there are books with my name on it. And
Yeah.
there are performances that I've done, and there are people who tell you, "Oh yeah, I saw him perform here and this, that, and that." I'm in it. I mean, I've sat on the south side of Chicago. I always joke with myself. I'm this black dude from the south side of Chicago.
Yeah.
And I'm on TV, or I wrote a book, or I'm in a play. I'm in it. That's the best part of it. I'm in it.
Yeah. I wanted to say this, listening to you, what you're saying. I remember the first time when I first received my first book in the mail that I had published. I was so excited. I was crying. Because this was something I stepped out on faith on something I didn't know nothing about. And now years later, I have written 10 books and published 10 books, and I'm excited. And I've written a play. I done already did my manuscript for my movie. And now I'm ready. I'm ready to take it and put it out there into the world and let everybody see what I have done. And I'm so excited. And so I do understand that part when you say it's a feeling that you get. It's like you're so you so overjoyed, and it's like you just constantly saying to the Lord, thank you.
That's all it is. You just said the whole formula right there. Like you just keep saying thanks, and that's for everything. And that's for some people may be out there. They may not be creatives or whatever, but you got to say thanks, man. You just have to. You got to be grateful. Like we always can get more or want more, but you always got to say, "Hey, thank you, Lord, that I'm able to get in this car and drive to this place. Thank you, Lord. If you're on some sort of public transit, I got this pass so I can pay it and get on. Because what if you didn't have the fare? Or what if you didn't have money to put gas in the car? Or what if you didn't have a car? Or what if you didn't have a place to go to call your work? Or what if you didn't have this? And if you subtract these things that you have, you'd be like, oh my goodness, I'd be in some dire straits, but you have them. And as much as you may say, hey, I did it, it comes from a different place. It comes from a higher place. And you got to always say, hey, thank you. Thank you, Lord. I appreciate you.
Amen.
So much. You know what I mean?
Amen. You preaching, yeah?
Gratitude and gratefulness.
Hey guys, like I was telling, this is for everybody listening. Hey, listen, I'm gonna keep saying this. In no way is James Gordon perfect. I go to the gym, I show off because the Latin dudes be trying to show off, and I show them, hey, don't just because I got a couple decades on, I will peel on you and show you what I'm made of. So don't let the Brooks Brothers shirt fool you. I'm buff. Don't.
Jehoshua Bradley said if he shows up, he will show off and show out.
Oh yeah, she know.
That's it.
She know.
What does it says? Mr. Crystal Baker 70 says good evening, everyone, and great conversation.
Hey there.
Good evening, Crystal. Daniel Johnson says, so proud of you both. Yes, he is.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you. Yeah. When I came on, guys, I want to address y'all. When I came on, we were talking about various things and what have you. First of all, thank y'all for having me on with y'all. This thing y'all got going on, the synergy that y'all are projecting is amazing. Y'all got different, each one of y'all take a different aspect and talk. Oh my God, I was sitting like, whoo, I got to turn up my volume so I can come in here and do my thing. I just think this is really, think this is really dope. I like saying, I know it's old school or archaic, but I think this is really dope what y'all got going on. So again, thank y'all for having me this evening. Thank y'all for rescheduling.
Thank you for coming.
And Arthur, Laura, let me tell you specifically, I know last time they kept us. I was on set and they kept us like to 9 o'clock.
Okay.
And I was like, hey, I'm sorry. There's nothing I could do. I'm here. She was very considerate. She understood and said, hey, we'll get you on again. So thank you for being understanding of sometimes filming and stuff that, you can't control it when you're not behind the camera. So thank you again. And thanks for everybody tuning in.
Oh, you're welcome. You know what? I'm going to tell you something, a little secret there. So, God is always in control. And so things happen for a reason,
Yes.
so your rescheduling, it happened for a reason. I ain't gonna even go into discussion. Most of my friends here, they know what I'm talking about, but everything happens for a reason. God did what he did
always
because there was a reason why he did it the way he did it. So I'm just grateful. All I can say is I step back and I thank him.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That's amazing. That's amazing.
I've noticed a lot of great actors and comedians and people are coming out of the South Side of Chicago, singers and all. Even though some of them might have had issues, but there's a lot of great actors and singers and comedians that are actually from Chicago and the South Side of Chicago. Because I didn't realize until later on that Bernie Mac was from Chicago.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
That's right. The guy on Power, who plays Mecca, Dante, he's from here. Yeah. I mean, there are people you find out, you look up and say, wait a minute, they're from here too? Wait a minute, what, really? It just, our city, our city is so unsung, and it has a lot of artistic value to it that people never really talk about. They talk about some of the sports and all that, things like that, and the politics and such, but they never really talk about how the art aspect of it. And we're doing it. We got some people out here doing it, and I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm glad to represent, Yeah. I love my city.
Yeah.
Love my city.
My friend's son is an actor. His name is Nate. I can't think of his last name on the show, what the name he used for his stage name or anything. I can't think of that right now, but her son is an actor also from the South Side of Chicago.
Oh, that's my buddy you're talking about. That's my buddy.
Yeah, and I'm from the South Side of Chicago. We just got that. We got that thing going, Chicago, South Side.
JJ on that.
She did do the JJ.
Yes,
She did do the JJ. She took me back. And listen, you want to know something? I'm going to tell you something controversial. I couldn't stand Good Times. I really couldn't.
We were doing good. Oh, no.
like growing up, yeah. Because it was, you look on screen oh, man, and black people. But once you got more mature, and start seeing things and look back, you're like, oh my God, they couldn't win. The Evansons, they couldn't win.
Yeah.
Keith was going to the play for the Bears and he broke his leg. I was like, oh no.
And always was wanting to keep them down. No.
They wanted them to keep scratching and surviving. That's all.
Oh my God. You know what was my show though? I'm gonna tell y'all my show. And some of y'all may not remember this. What's Happening was my show.
Mine too.
I loved What's Happening. It was really positive. It was upbeat. It had a different energy to it. They weren't rich, but they weren't poor.
Right.
And they were always, Raj or somebody was always doing something, and there was some hope there. Oh man, he graduated. He graduated from high school, college. He's teaching. He owns a restaurant. You're like, yes, yes. So Good Times was just something else, man. That was just something else. It was just, my daughter loved Good Times, and she had me one day when they used to have it. Too. She had it on a marathon. She said, "Dad, sit with me and watch that." And I just, I couldn't tell her no. But I was still looking at her sideways, like, "Boy, you lucky I love you," because I'm telling you.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be
James, wasn't that filmed in your city?
What does that have to do with anything?
Yeah, it was.
Wait, and then look, James. I mean, because you breaking my heart. And then you are James. Come on, James. What we gonna do? Come on.
But that James died. That's not cool.
No, I know. He probably got out because he was tired of it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. I mean, it just. You know what? It just wasn't. Man, you know what? Growing up in the 70s, you understood what it was like to for stuff to be a little tough. So when you looked at TV, you wanted to see something different. You wanted to see something different. So now you're looking at people and you're like, ooh, wee. And you're right, it's in the city. So they filming in the same projects or looking like they filming, even though they filmed in California and they were just, using the outside or whatever. But still, you're like, oh man, I don't want to go down there. I don't want to. You start projecting stuff out and it starts formulating in your mind. As talented as Michael was, he was up against it. As talented as JJ was, it didn't stop him from getting shot or harassed by gangs. Yeah, it was just rough.
We had to cut it. We're gonna have to cut it off, but we want you to let people know how they can find you and how they can see you on TV. Tell them before we go.
Tune in after the Olympics. Tune in on Wednesday nights, NBC, 7 p.m. I'll be Kent Taylor on Chicago Med. Here's another one. I'm gonna drop this for you. In 2 weeks on Tubi and Amazon, there's a new series I'm a part of called Background Extras. It's hilarious. It's a comedy. It's called Background Extras. It drops on February 5th, I believe. I think it's February 5th. So be on the lookout for that. If you want to connect, I'm James Gordon on Facebook, Greatest Port Alive on Instagram, and pretty much everywhere else. They all link together. I think that's. You can go to Patreon. I wrote and directed a film called Christmas Time. You can check that out there. And I think that's it.
Okay. Well, we want to thank you, James, for being our guest today on Inspirational Talks with Laura Simmons and Friends. And we want to just say
thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it.
For you.
It was a great time. Thank y'all for having me. Appreciate it so much.
Really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Danielle said very inspirational.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Take care now.
All right. You too. Bye. All right. Bye-bye. We're going to put this one thing on and then we got to get off of here so people will know. That's James. That was our guest for today. And we want to thank everyone for tuning in to Inspirational Talks with Laura Simmons and Friends. Please follow us on Instagram, Inspirational Talk with L_Simmons. All right, guys. Good night, and everybody have a wonderful evening. Share the live, and people can go back and watch the reruns of this show today. So please share. All right.
All right.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Y'all have a good week.